Dio, tis I. You already know who it is. I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and record some movie reviews on this Friday because I have the time and I don't want to record on Saturday and Sunday because I want to be doing nothing. Probably going to be writing or working on an orchestral track because I've entered the music industry, I guess, in composing. But basically, I have to for my independent films. Once I have the funds to pay people to do it, I'm not gonna do it. But it's interesting. It's very interesting and fun. More fun in the way it's challenging. But anyways, tis I. It's Whistly. You already know who it is. It's a Friday. I'm just out here reviewing movies, and I'm a movie lover. This is my YouTube channel. I just review movies and talk about stuff. Some vlog stuff, some life stuff. But I don't know. But anyways, I watched Obsession 2026. It was fantastic. Curry Baker, shout out. That's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. The YouTube channel, they do comedy sketch and skits. Although that's done now because Curry Baker is a hot shot. Oh man, what a debut. This is a fantastic debut. Zoe Kravitz had a really good debut. But oh my, this was one of the best horror movies I've ever watched in my entire life. No cap. No boosted my stats, no front, and none of that. I'm being honest. It was fantastic. Yeah, I just feel like it was just very the attention to detail was very intricate. It was interesting. It was a simple story that went the distance. It had the depth. Indy was so her name is Inda Navarrete. Inda Navarrete as Nikki. Stand out of it. Saying this straight up right now. She was a straight out. Inda Navarrete. Sarah, I'm saying the name. Inda Navarrete as Nikki. Michael Johnson as Bear. Cooper Tomlinson as the friend guy, and then Megan Lawless as a goth lady. Just Rock Burrell, the composer. Oh. The composing to me was almost as good as the movie because I just feel like everything was on time. It was fantastic, but I feel like the composing, I feel like Curry Baker and Rock Burrell really came out here and they swung for the fences and they just kept hitting home runs after home runs. This whole movie was fantastic. Inda Navarrete as Nikki. It was just fantastic. It was just, the timing was always correct, and it really made it so scary. The shocks, that everything that's going on, even though there's a lot of this, you can kind of telegraph what's going on. When it happens, it's a complete surprise. The thing about this movie is every scene is surprising. Every 1 minute, you're shaking, you're surprising. I remember moving back in my chair. And one of the best ways, turn lower voice, when I watch a movie is when people leave the theater and the immediate response, the review, to me, I feel like is 95% gold. When, what movie was it? The, Joker came out, one of the lady was like, why didn't she sing with her normal voice? Boom. And then the movie kind of broke even her tank or whatever it is, And then it was I forget what, another movie, people were like, I thought it was good. And then some people, and the same thing, Joker, some people were like, I thought it was good, but it could have been better, which is my review. But I'm just saying, when you leave the movie theater and people are giving their reviews, always listen. And that's what I always do. But I was leaving the movie theater and there's a gentleman, a younger guy in his 20s and mid-20s. And he was like, yo, it's been a while since I watched a movie that good. That had me actually shook. That joint was cold. And I was like, that's a mighty good review. And it was. And I felt the exact same way. I just feel like I haven't watched a movie that just has so much jarring effects with a combination of a sound and picture and the good acting by Inda Navarrete and the good acting by Michael Johnston, the enjoyableness of Cooper Tomlinson, and just that's what it is, a masterful directorial debut, a masterful directing job by Curry Baker. Just fantastic. And then again, the the composer Rock Burrell, the composition. Everything was on point. Everything was in time, and it's just surprise after surprise after surprise after surprise after surprise after surprise, and it's out of the park, out of the park. And it's just rare you see a movie like especially a horror movie that has that like shock. It's just a very shocking like movie. I'm just confirming that Curry Baker was the writer. Yeah, he's a writer, former YouTube or current YouTube star still, but the writer, he wrote and directed by Curry Baker. And just, again, I'm a fan of That's a Bad Idea, so I'm a little bit biased, I'm not gonna lie. I probably have some more bias. But again, the reviews that I heard the guy say out of the movie theater, which is always a good, reliable, but just my eyes, my ears watching it and just hearing the audience in the movie theater and people bought tickets, I just think there was a lot of twists and turns that delivered, and it was every single minute. Even if you could kind of telegraph what's going to happen, it's a surprise, it's a shock. It's like you think it's, it's like when some people talk about pro wrestling or acting or theater. It's like if it's so good, everybody forgets for moments that it's fake. And everyone just believes it's real. And I think that's what Curry Baker did. Or sorry, Barker. I put Baker. Sorry. Barker. Okay, sorry. I'm not even gonna go back. But yeah, Baker. But Curry Baker is just fantastic, and he's slated to do Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He's going like, to me already one of the best directors right now. Just same thing with Caroline Farge for Substance. It's like you can't make a movie this good and then like go down and have like blunders. Or I feel like it's also like an older thing, like that like a lot of the directors in past generations, they would make movies and then have a hit or miss movie. Like the guy who just did Poor Things, he had a movie and then he had a hit or miss. I just feel like the younger generation is more understanding of the attention to detail to compositions, and that's not a diss at the older people. I just feel like they understand like more meaning behind what they're creating and more emotional intelligence to replicate a good storytelling for the rest of their careers. Which it could still go wrong at some point, but Rock Burrell, fantastic. Curry Barker, fantastic. I think this whole thing in the Navarrete was just so good. Her performance was so convincing. It was so believable. The range was so fluid in its transitions. It's like a do-doon, like one of the cars, the automatic cars, basically. And I just feel like when she had to go when she went normal to crazy to like this possessed demon or whatever controlling this lady's body, it's just all the time, and the screenplay was on point. The dialogue is just so fantastic. Everything about this movie is just a straight up dub. It's a win. Even the production design, the costume design, every detail about this movie had something. If anything, I could say like maybe a nitpick is like kind of a little too dark 2 times, but that's not something that's gonna like actually matter, and it's just really just a nitpick, but I just thought there's so much details, there's so much things that's just well done. It's just like the dialogue was so engaging, the visuals were so engaging, the score, the composition by Rock Burrell, so engaging, the overall directing job by Curry Barker, fantastic, engaging, and interesting. And again, every minute I'm shocked, every minute I'm surprised. And then there's comedy. His comedic timing is just like, it's you could see some of it from the YouTube channel Sketch, where it's just like it's saying something that's kind of misleading but then funny, but they didn't go to like that slapstick kind of style of comedy. He kept it like serious but still enjoyable, and he'd have these breaks probably like every 20 minutes where there's something a comedic scene or a comedic moment where it just puts your guard down, then he scares you again, then he shocks you again. And yeah, honestly, this was one of the best horror movies I ever watched in my entire life. because everything was done right. Everything was on time and everything was so surprising. And that's one of the words I would use to describe this movie. It's like, it's just so surprising. Like, I kind of know what's going to happen. I could probably guess, but then it happens and I'm like, oh, wow, I'm surprised. So yeah, and I've not like that, and that's what this horror movie is supposed to do. That's what suspense is supposed to do. That's what shock is supposed to do. The gore, everything like that. It's just done well. For $1 million, you know, and again, these bloated budgets, this overproduction here, overproduction there, overproduction this. This was simple and this was on point. They didn't need 1,000 different things. A lot of the movie happens either in the music store or at the house, and it blew the house down. It was fantastic. Rave review, or just, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really thought it was fantastic. And this movie is good. Obsession 2026 is a must watch. And I really hope to see, I know horror movies don't get awards, but this joint's fantastic. Like it really, 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 really was it. And if it doesn't make 25 million, like at least in the box office, I'm gonna be surprised, because it's so good, so good, so good. And that's what the greats do. They do good, really good overall. Yeah. So just try to make life decisions that are good, and don't overcomplicate things, and understand that life is a finite resource, and to love and be happy and aspire to be yourself and authentic, and I don't know, enjoy life, basically, you know, without being malicious or bad. And don't be scared to challenge yourself. And, you know, yeah, that's my review.